Is it actually on this time? Are we functional? I'm not going to do it. I just don't feel up to it. So I'll let this guy explain it instead. Function.
What are the humans doing?
Do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies, but no one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. So if you think you're ready, you don't need more proof. Conspiracy deniers are denying the truth. They fabricate our problems and pretend to provide the best solution, but we all know they lie. They lied about the weapons and they lied about health. They lied about the fact that they're transferring the wealth. You should really notice how they're pushing the fear. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. Yeah. Everybody's not thinking clear. Keep everybody terrified. Yeah, and not thinking. Keep everybody terrified and not thinking clear. When you do, you realize that this is their trick. It's getting really stupid now, they're taking the mic. Said, do you think you're ready? Can you handle the truth? Or are you in denial and demanding more proof? They demonstrate in real time how they're spinning you lies. No one pays attention, no one opens their eyes. They walk around like zombies with their head in the mobiles, signaling their virtues with a pick on their profile. Yeah. Signaling their virtues on their profile. Hey.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sasquatch Shills, where Sasquatch Shills, you don't have to. I have a lovely young lady backstage, but I got one little bit of housekeeping before we go. Listen. So earlier, I was messing around with my computer. We're sitting here talking backstage. Everything was fine. She steps out for a minute, and my computer flatlined. It took me an hour and a half of tinkering to get it back to functional. So if this thing goes out, chances are that's the end of it. I'm going to try to prevent that from happening. So we'll see how far we get along those lines. Now, the intro song was provided by Richie Rich from 007 over there at the Magic Tree House. And I love it. It's absolutely fabulous. How you doing, Samuel? Good to see you, bud. John Smith, you too. I'm going to get to chat in just a second. I got one last little bit of thing I want to put out here before we get started. Now, I think this is the new one, but I suspect he took the new one down. So this might be the same one I did yesterday. Let's find out.
Even in a world where nothing seems to make sense anymore, there are still a few hard and fast rules in American politics. And here's one of them. When an incumbent office holder runs for re-election and finishes third in their own party's primary with a...
I think he had one took down. I'm not sure. But let me see if it's actually in the stack, and we might be able to do it anyway. Nope. Nah, man. I missed one somehow. Huh. We're going to have to figure that one out later. But I know that was the most recent. Oh, PD, what's up, baby? All right, so let's do this thing. Ambers, how are
Hello,
you doing?
I'm here.
Hey, I got
I'm
one more.
alive and well.
Now y'all can see it. I went and dug up one of your thumbnail and made it a really big picture for the background because I'm that type of asshat.
That was actually right before, or actually, if I'm no, right in the very beginning of when I was growing my dreads. Yeah, so that was about 2 years ago.
Yeah, no technology. We can't tolerate any of that. So back at the beginning of the chat, we have Izzy Pop has the gold. Squirrel Sniper gets the silver. And
Oh,
MVP gets the bronze. Welcome to the show, folks. Good to see you. Press
yay.
harder. Yeah. That's people. You ever met people? If you get a
No,
chance,
I've not.
if you ever have a chance to do a face-to-face talk with people, you should do it. He was generous enough to come by and spend several hours just hanging out and chilling and talking about the things he does. It's really cool. I enjoyed it. Claiborne County Transparency, welcome to the show, bud. Good to see you. We got Violence is Life, Bill. Good to see you, darling.
Looks like
Appreciate
mandatory carry.
John
Let's see.
Smith 2046 is over here. He got in here pretty early too. You're here. That's cool to see. Wait, have I modded you yet?
No.
All right. There you are.
That's giving me a lot of responsibility, you know.
You don't have to do any freaking thing. You just
Honey, I know, believe me.
anyway, Samuel
It's me.
is in chat. Good to see you, bud. Yeah, it's been a minute. When I saw that notification that a channel had been nuked, I had thought it was yours at first. And then I had to think about it, and I went, no, I know what channel got nuked. The Exiled Linus's channel was nuked from orbit a couple days ago with little to no notification. It was just poof, gone. Right? We got
I hate it when they do.
Good to see you, bud. Princess OPD is in here. Oh, let me get this right. Princess OPD, Mando Nomadic Life's Maverick. Please hit like, BBL.
That's a mouthful.
See, she always has a mouthful. Of course, Natives Law Act mandatory carry is late and gay. Late and gay.
Always gay.
Thank you for noticing me. Got
See,
Toast Life.
Sterling.
You, buddy. What you been up to? Over there wiring up them electrical panels? Sounds like fun. A lot of fun. You wiring them up? You get the house going? Getting a lot of power to people? Is that what you're doing? You doing a good job? Oh,
that was good, Olga. Good Stewie. Good Stewie there, buddy.
I got a buddy of mine who does a spot on
that's stuff back there.
Herbert the Pervert.
Oh my gosh, I know someone else that does too.
Dude, it's uncanny. It's uncanny. My man ain't got no teeth either, and when he does it, he hangs his head down and sticks his chin out, and he fucking looks like him.
Oh God,
it's crazy.
Don't give me nightmare.
You're right. You're right.
He's about a creepy ass mofo, and that bless that damn dog's heart. The dog's even on wheelchairs.
Life is correct. His mug is not in the intro. Your mug is in a different intro sequence that I did, and for some weird reason, every time I do a re-edit, I miss your clip. I also don't have Road Dogs, and I don't have
Hey, Total Life, it's okay. I'm not either.
Official Misconduct is not in there. I got her husband in the intro and her not.
Ooh.
Well, no, here's the thing. I had a choice between a scruggly old man and a beautiful young lady, and somehow I ended up with the scruggly old man. I'm thinking it might say something about me, not them. How did that happen? I interviewed both of them, but you know, like how in the world did I miss that? I don't get it.
Dude, editing for me is still a struggle. My daughter, she's so damn funny. Like, she timestamps it for me. So, like, I was half-ass editing, like, I don't know, a couple months back. And apparently there's, like, a whole straight, like you said, 60 seconds is a long time when you're editing or you're recording or you're doing anything.
Can be.
60 seconds of me picking my nose. I totally missed this, dude. My daughter time stamps it in the comments, goes, Mom, I'm dying. I'm like, click on it, and I'm like, oh my God, Holly, your meme's going to kill me. Your meme's going to kill me. I was like, thanks, so I appreciate that. I'm just going to fuck it. I'm going to leave it. It's still there.
It's okay, Pop. Okay, Izzy. Look, no. I redo my intro about once every 3 months, and I either pick a new theme song or re-edit the new stuff in. That's why you also see those bits from movies. It's because I need 3 minutes for the intro, but I don't have 3 minutes of intros from shows. So I got to work with what I got here. But I've got about 6 or 7 that I've got to add into the intro that I haven't gotten to yet.
Don't be punching walls.
Blue Unicorn is mountain fresh.
I love Blue Unicorn. I love that name. I love unicorns. I love it. I love Izzy.
The issue I have with him is he's exhausting to talk to because of the third person referent.
Oh God.
Just so exhausting to read that stuff. I mean, I get it, and I can admire the commitment to a gimmick, but God, I love you to death. I look at it sometimes and I go, man, look, look, hey, no, he did a video. There's a video back a couple of months ago that he did, and it was some kind of a weird numerological thing where he took numerology and twisted it up with like other stuff so that it might have meant something, but I'm not 100% sure what. And so I sat there and watched it. When I got done, I was like, I kind of feel like you took my concept of numerology outside and curb stomped it like from American History. I don't feel like I understand any of that stuff anymore. I used to feel like I knew what was going on.
Oh my God, I hate to even admit it, I love that movie. Edward Norton has never looked so hot to me.
Dude,
and I just can't even.
You're evil, but beyond that. Or maybe
I'm not evil. It's that 6-pack. Shut up. I'm
not gonna lie. I might have slept with Ed Norton from American History.
That's what I fucking thought. Don't even.
Especially
don't fucking play with me like that.
Curb stock. I might be having to take some Ed Norton. If I had a choice between that and a curb stomp, you're damn right.
Yeah. Oh, any day of the week. And then I have a all of my friends give me hell over this one, but I don't give a damn. I am like in love with Billy Bob Thornton. I think he is so sexy. People are like, why? I'm like, I don't even know, but he better stay away from Asheville. And he was in Asheville about 2 or 3 years ago, but I couldn't get anywhere near the salvage station if I wanted to. That place was sold out because he has a band. Who would have thought? Angelina Jolie's so lucky and so stupid at the same time. I hate her. I used to love her, but now I hate her.
Hey, Snark, can you tell me what your avatar is? I can't tell what it is. It's got over here, it's got the YouTube button over it, and over here, it's
Bluetooth. And my Bluetooth's behaving well today.
It does seem to be doing pretty well.
I bet you if I hooked up my mic, it'd sound like shit. And normally, sometimes you'll see me looking like, I think the last couple of times I've had these, and they plug in, and then I have my mic, and I don't have my mic. I have my mic close by, but I don't have it out of the box.
All right, this is all absolutely fantastic, and I love it. And
it doesn't matter.
Wander off on your own and follow you through the fields frolicking together, but I do have a little bit on here. So let's move on.
I'm reading the chat too. Yeah, let's do that. Fully agree with you on that one.
So I got this video up over here. It's the spider and its prey, very first vid.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with my bit? What I do about the first vids?
No, let's go ahead.
You don't know? Oh,
no.
You gotta know. Don't lie to me.
I don't.
You know about cars? Yes, I'm a paleontologist.
Oh, it's okay. There's dynamite in this bag too. I am a paleontologist.
I'm a paleontologist.
Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
All right, so I'm a bit of a YouTube paleontologist, which means we go back, check out your very first video. So here's the question.
Mm-hmm.
When you started doing the whole YouTube thing, what
Mm-hmm.
was it that tipped you over from just commenting on some trash on YouTube versus actually getting in front of a camera to say some shit?
Oh, actually, you noticed when I first started doing my YouTube channel, I actually wasn't on in front of the camera a lot. I was doing a lot of art and painting. And what got me in front of the camera saying shit was the 2020. Right before it happened, there was like stuff that I kept hearing or seeing on the radio that was getting to me, and I was like, that's it. I cannot keep my mouth shut. I already can't keep my mouth shut, but now I'm like, I publicly am not going to keep my fucking mouth shut. Excuse me, but I'm not. I just can't. I mean, the lack of critical thinking is just it's maddening, to say the least.
I think far too people, yeah, that's beautiful. I think far too many
that's
people,
one of my favorite things to do.
They're asking what the purpose of something is. They just accept that it's there and don't worry about why it's there. You know, like
right.
Just pretty much anything you can think of, like a cell phone with all of its connectivity and everything. Do you use it more intelligent and more enlightened? No, we use it to bitch about things on the internet.
Mm-hmm. And look at stupid shit on TikTok.
I try to avoid TikTok. I got infected with brain
sure you do.
Before, and yeah, I was thinking I might become a Twitch thought instead.
I've never had TikTok. I do have a Twitch, but I have to hack back into it. The only reason I have a Twitch is because of my girl. I like to watch her when she's gaming.
All right. Well, I tried to do the whole the gaming thing. I'm just not that much of a gamer. Maybe if I had a really good game, I could sit around and play Minecraft for freaking ever, but I'm so weird about how I do things. There's no continuity to what I'm doing. I've got this plan in my head because I'm a construction worker. I've built houses and stuff. So this is all just blocks.
Everywhere, villages of random shit.
And I'll do some stuff over here, there's some stuff over here, there's some stuff over there, and it's all random as hell, or at least it looks random, except that I'm not doing anything that gets in the way of something I'm going to do later, right?
Yeah. There's a space in between. Yeah,
I'm leaving spots, and so it just looks wacky. And since it's
what's your favorite block to use when you're building in Minecraft? What's your favorite material?
Generally dirt.
Really? Have you ever used obsidian?
Yeah, but no, I don't. I mean,
I love using the obsidian.
It's such a pain in the ass to get, you know. But anyway,
for the first 5 years of my son's life, and I'm trying to deter him from playing Gears of War when he was 3. Don't ask. But anyways, he's actually a very calm teenager, considering he had mastered them.
Bill points out something interesting. There are too many NSA agents monitoring U.S. citizens and thus wasting our tax money on such treason. In a republic, the citizens are king and the government is to serve the public. And that is absolutely correct. But furthermore, there is an entire community of people on the internet that refer to themselves as targeted individuals. And in the late 90s, the CIA released some extensive documents. And I don't know if it was intentional or accidental or what, but coincidentally, in 1998, there were 12,700 individuals who called themselves targeted individuals online. There were literally 9,900 some change in people who were actually being used for targeted surveillance by CIA assets as training ops domestically.
They still are.
Speaking, yeah, I'm sure they still are, but technically speaking, what they were doing wasn't illegal because none of it would be used in a court of law ever, right? So it doesn't matter, according to the way the law is written. It doesn't matter if you surveil citizens with no intent. If you can't use, I mean, it's all illegally obtained data. You can't use any of it in a court, but you can use it to build a case to get data that can be used in a court. So it's a real fudgy kind of environment. However, I found it funny that there was an almost 1-to-1 ratio. There was a few more crazy people out there who aren't being followed around, or at least not by American assets, that believe they are. But how many of these people are crazy, and how many of them have just noted some aspect of some, op training that they just happen to be a part of? You never know. That's just like people saying smoking weed makes you paranoid. But no, there are 3-letter agencies whose entire purpose is to stop me from doing it, lock me up if I do. That doesn't sound like paranoia to me.
Right.
That sounds legitimate worries.
Exactly. And that to me, I'm with you on that. People say I'm paranoid. I'm like, I happen to disagree because I happen to.
Welcome to the show, bud.
I know.
Ozymandias, Boa. Good to see you, bud. Welcome in. Okay, so you started speaking out on things that you found to be either erroneous or different from how you perceived them.
Yeah.
It was enough to tip. What's up, ATL? Good to see you, bud. It was enough to tip you over from merely commenting on videos to not only filming something and uploading it, but not only filming something, but also uploading it. Because I'll tell you the truth, I didn't upload my first video. I didn't upload my video.
Oh, no, I did. It's the one with the spot. I uploaded the very first video. Every video that I've uploaded is being in succession of something I've recorded. I even have shit that's like old that I still need to upload, but there was so much going on that I've uploaded the most important part. Like the spider thing is a 3-day issue where there was a weird clicking sound. I didn't know what the fuck it was. And I started trying to pinpoint where it was coming from. When I find it, it is a bug that is caught in a spider's web trying madly to escape. And it's clicking is the sound that I'm hearing. And I watched this spider literally come down, attack the bug, wrap it up a little bit, not fully, just a little bit, then retreat. Then when the thing starts clicking to get this spot, it was horrible. But I couldn't help but film it and upload it. That's the weirdo I am. But the spider thing is also a reoccurring issue that happens on my channel. I took a freaking, it was on a Friday the 13th, like a year or two ago. I go to get in the shower, and 2 of those big garden spiders that we have down here are in the shower with me, refusing to leave. So I have to shower with them, and then I won't kill them. I get them out.
Spiders don't bother me.
I won't kill them.
Snakes don't bother me if I know where they are and what they're doing. As long as they're visible and I can see them, they don't really bother me. It's when one wanders off, because yeah.
And turtles. My son has a turtle that likes to escape.
You want to hear my turtle story? I got a turtle story. All right.
Yeah.
Check this crap out. When I was a kid, we had an artesian well in the front yard, and after some with this basically a mud hole, right? A mud hole that never dried up. So after some work and some doing, we planted a willow tree, planted some flowers. We had a nice little garden out there with koi, right? It's fucking beautiful. It looked like the Garden of Eden, man. It was absolutely amazing. Okay. One summer, all of my koi are gone. And the freaking koi pond, which is usually crystal clear, looks like the cesspool at the bottom of the dungeon. It's filthy. This thing is nasty. Now, remember, this is not an artificial pond. There's no liner in this pond. It's just dirt down there, just clay. That's it, right? Okay. So every so often, I have to climb in there with a shovel and scrape the bottom out of it to get all the goobers out. And sometimes a little turtle again there might bite a couple of chunks out of some koi. We got to drain it down, pull all our koi out, and find the turtle and get him out. This time we had found no sign of a turtle. Typically there's a piece of a fish left somewhere. Nothing. All the koi are just gone. So I decide on a random Tuesday, all right, I'm going to go out and drain it. I've got it rigged up to do it pretty quick and easy. Done, right? It's flushing out like a ginormous toilet, sucking most of the mud out with it. And I'm standing in there hip deep in the water, sloshing that stuff around, making sure it stays nice and liquid and wash out. Right?
That's what's bad.
It gets sucked out all the way to the bottom. I get the bucket and dip out the last little bit of it, and it's starting to run back in and fill up. And I look over and I see the turtle. He's about yay big. And I reach out and I go to pick him up with my hand, with the palm of my hand, and my hand stops. I didn't stop it. I could not grab that turtle. It's shells right there, millimeters away from the tips of my fingers. Didn't touch it. could not. It was like there was a force field around the damn thing. I pulled my hand. I looked at my hand and I shook it.
Like, come on, get that damn thing.
Grabbed that turtle and my hand stopped. The hair on the back stood up and I went, that's not right. My mom's walking by over here coming to check to see how much longer this is going to be before we can get some more fish. And I'm standing there shaking my hand again. And she's like, what's up? And I said, you see that turtle? She goes, yeah. I said, I don't think that's a turtle. She says, what do you mean? And I took the flat bottom shovel and slid it under the edge of the little turtle, the little terrapin that I'd seen, and lifted it, and the whole side of the bank moved. It was a loggerhead snapping turtle. The son of a bitch, 15 fucking pounds. I shit you not.
You would have lost your fingers.
I'd have lost my hand. That thing's head
shit, bro.
Microphone. I shit you not. I'm talking chunks. It was, dude, I walked on air. I picked my feet up out of that hole, spread out across across the top of water. It was, I mean,
I don't play with them. I don't even.
Sitting in that hole, and what I thought was a turtle was his right front paw.
Oh my God.
What I reached out to grab. That's what I thought I was.
Thank God the force field was like, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't do it.
That was some serious deep down, like deep lizard brain protection. My ancestors said, no, you
was like, dude, you're going to lose your hand if you keep doing that.
You don't reptiles.
No, I rescue the little bitty box ones. And if I see them in the road, I'll get out. I'll make my mom stop. I'll get out of the car and I'll move them out of the way. Or I'll take them back to my son's property and he'll let them loose at the lake. But he's got one of the yellow belly slider turtles that he's had since he was a baby. So that thing's like 17 now. And he had got out of his tank way early on before we realized what he was doing. And he was missing for like a week. Like we looked everywhere, couldn't find him. And we leave. I come home one day and he is sitting in front of my toilet. He was trying to get back to the water. I did not know how to handle this reptile in front of me. I could not go to the bathroom without having somebody go in there and look all around for like a month. I'm like, just go check. Just make sure, because I had iguanas, I had a gecko. You never know. I was like, just go make sure there's no reptiles in there.
Snapping turtles aren't terribly aggressive, and they're not horribly like.
No, but the loggerhead.
But they're not aggressive. The only time they really bite is if you corner them in a way that they can't get away.
Right.
So if they're in the water, they actually swim really, really well, like amazingly well for a large rock. You'd be amazed how quickly they swim away. If they're on land, they can actually skittle it on out at about 4 miles an hour, believe it or not. They're pretty quick on foot, believe it or not.
Wow.
So when this thing come out of the side of the bank, like I'm not even joking, there was a hunk of the bank that was just sitting on his shell. When he stood up and moved, it just came with him.
Oh God!
The whole thing. I had been leaning on that chunk of freaking chalk.
How many times? How many times did we do that too?
The whole time I was cleaning out the bottom of that thing, I would occasionally step up on it and stuff. I guarantee you, I put my foot.
You had to, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I wondered that how many times when we're like out in the woods, like me, I seldom have on water shoes because I'm a dummy. How many things have I stepped on and not even realized? Oh, I stepped on a snake, a water snake, and didn't get bit, or I stepped on a damn turtle.
Snake. I stepped flat in the middle of a snake, and let me tell you something. On an April morning, a rattlesnake feels like a dead animal. It almost feels wet when you step into it. But I stepped flat on the top of his head, and he wrapped it around my leg, and I lost my shit. I completely freaked out because I knew what it was the second my foot went into it because I heard it rattle.
Yep.
And I panicked, learned to fly. I levitated the fuck out of there like it was like, but you not. I took 3 full steps on air, got the fuck out of there.
I levitated up out of there. There was one too, like years ago. I'm walking through the woods, and if it's above my eye level, I'm 5'2". I don't see it. I'm not looking, especially if this hat is on. I really don't see it. The day I'm walking through the woods, I have this hat on. I'm walking through the woods. My buddy, he's like 6'6", 6'5", something like that. Right when I get through this trail by the basketball court, he grabs me and jerks me back, and he goes, "Hey, dummy, look, this mother copperhead, she was either pregnant or just ate something very big. I'm guessing she ate, because she just curled up around a branch, just dangling over the trail, like, could have fallen on me. Oh my God, I would have died. I was in such shock that we leave the trail and we're passing kids. I can't get the words out of my mouth to tell them, watch out for the snake. I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And they start laughing at me, and Jared's like, what? I was like, tell them, he was like, they'll figure it out. It'll be all right. Calm down. I was like, but I couldn't even say anything. Like, it was so freaking big.
I'm going to require you to make longer videos.
What, me?
Yeah.
Why?
It played through all of them I had set up for you.
Okay, no, there are longer ones. Longer ones.
I was fiddling through, and I chose these because they're
some of my art ones. That one right there, I made that one yesterday.
Yeah, that was your most recent upload.
Yeah, that was my most recent.
It's your recent upload, your most popular upload, unless like something else catches my eye in particular. And then
one of my most popular is gonna be a short, probably.
Yeah, I've been trying to kind of stay away from shorts because there's not enough there to make any part of an episode at all.
It's not. I have a couple of them. One of them is it's just ridiculously hilarious, and I'm embarrassed of it, but I'm standing my ground on that. I feel the way I feel about that for a reason. And I swear, if I ever run into that man in person, he's going to get it from me. I got timed out by Rex over at Leak Project. Well, it wasn't Rex. It was Purple Sparkle Felicity. I like to create digital artwork too. That's another thing I like to do, is create digital artwork as well.
Why is nothing working?
I wonder why.
Working? That's working. Is this working? That's working. Okay, everything's working. It's just me. This just isn't working.
Is it operator error?
Probably operator headspace error. I hate those.
ATL, quit playing. You know you're a narcissist.
You know what I saw? I saw a woman driving today, ATL. You should be yourself.
You should feel so damn privileged and proud and blessed, Sasquatch, because
the
damn audacity of that woman.
According to ATL, they're not even supposed to do that, man.
She should not be driving around and escorted by another man.
Did I call you atypical or Addy Pickle? Because I don't know which way you want to go with it. I'm going to call you atypical because it's easier to say than Addy Pickle, which is just feels bad.
When I seen it, the first time I seen it, I called it Addy Pickle. But then I was like, wait, that's atypical. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to call it Addy Pickle.
Addy Pickle?
Yeah, I'm going to call it Addy Pickle.
Addy Pickle.
Either way.
Whichever, whatever. I mean, I'm not picky. I'll call you whatever you want to be called, just not late for supper. That's the way that goes.
Yeah. And I generally answer to anything but my name most of the time.
These are some of my favorite bits when you forget that you're live streaming and you start messing with your phone or whatever. And it looks like you're casting a spell.
I did not even realize sometimes that I was doing stuff like that. And then I'll go back later and I'm like, Emma, like, what are you doing? And then I'm sitting there thinking, well, clearly I don't remember doing that. So it must have been one of my other personalities. And that's just where I'll leave it.
80? Okay.
I was like, just call you 80. I'm guessing you were born in 80 then?
Hey there, pretty little girl. With your long blonde curls.
80's decade was the best decade ever.
I don't know, man.
Yep.
The booties didn't exist in the 80s. There was too much cocaine running around and too many crackheads. Dude, that shit was a war zone in New York City. Have you ever seen Juice or New Jack City? Come on, man.
I don't think so.
Hell no. Dude.
I don't think so. I liked The Wood. That was the one I watched. I didn't see New Jack City. I didn't see that. I seen that what's the one with freaking Eddie Murphy in it, where the kids in the beginning at the yelling at the Chinese chick, "Bitch, I want my motherfucking money back. I gave you $20 motherfucking dollars, homegirl." That one. Where's that from? What is that movie? Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights. I love Harlem Nights. That is.
I think that's it. Yeah. I gave you $20 motherfucking dollars. No. You only gave me $5. No, I ain't finna sit here and argue with your sad ass face, homegirl. This is America. I was like, oh my God.
And there are a lot of excellent Harlem Nights scenes, and I'm not calling this the best scene, but it's the one that tickles me the most often, right? That I just think of out of the blue. But there's this bit where the whole gangster crew is standing there with Tommy guns spraying at this dude, right? And homie's over there behind the bar or whatever hiding. And they're all like, bah, 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 bah. And then they stop and he yells some shit. And after he yells some shit, the homie with the pistol goes, blam, blam. And they're like, brrr, blam, blam. Brrr, blam, blam. Will you stop it with that little shit? We got a 38 over there with a bunch of guys with 30.
Blam, blam.
But it comes to mind when I'm sitting there talking to somebody who has a bit of wit within someone who doesn't. And you've got the guy with wit that's sitting there spitting freaking stuff constantly that's funny and it's up to date and it's relevant and all that stuff. And this other dude who's like, yeah, what he said.
Oh, God.
Blam, blam.
Blam. Yeah, what he said. That's too funny though. No, the other day, it's got to be the hardest question I think you've ever posed to anyone ever in their life. It was just so hard.
You talking about David?
Yes.
I kind of
the self-control though that even I had to not butt in. I was like, I'm just gonna wait and see how fucking epically hilarious this one plays out.
No. I understood he couldn't answer that.
I thought he really could. I thought he was gonna at least attempt to bring somewhat of an answer that at some point I could maybe find a reason for him giving that was excusable.
He could have said, me, you, listening, or Ted Turner, and I would have accepted all of those.
Yeah.
But the question I asked him, he was talking about how if it's not true, if it's harmful disinformation, it should be removed from the internet. And I said, who gets to determine what is true? And he's like, well, when you're trying to determine what's truth, I said, no, sir, I'm not asking about the mechanism. I want to know who that cocksucker's name is. I want his fucking email address. I want to directly send my information to him rather than mucking around and all this weirdness. We can just go talk to the guy who decides that it's true.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what you have to do is you have to get a consensus view. I said, no, we're not talking about these different people. I want to talk to the one cracker out there. You know, it's an old white guy who decides what is and is not true. What's his name? Where is he?
Could have said Rockefeller, and that would have been an acceptable answer.
Any number of smart ass remarks would have worked, but his response was to scream, "Shut up, you ignorant motherfucker."
And I was like,
Well, it took me a minute to realize that he was actually cussing at me.
did you see, dude?
Did you see it popped up? Gotcha. And I wanted to do the Dave Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch.
I was just sat there and I was like, okay, I know he's not, he already shushed you. I was like, surely he realizes that we've all visibly reacted to that alone. But no, I was like, this mug is so damn drunk, he don't even know. And Rich was like, oh God, it's about to happen. He done shushed Papa Squatch. And then I heard motherfucker, and that was it. I was like, nah, bro, you out of line. You got to get the fuck out of here. You are not.
My man just don't have an answer.
You were so calm. You just was like, I said, I'm out, and turned around like, fuck that nigga. I ain't even dealing with him. I was like, damn.
Rich is going to kick you out now. And I turned and went back to playing Minecraft. Because that's the thing. I think that's what unnerved him. The whole way through all of that, I was playing Minecraft in the background. I was just talking like normal. And then he said something obscenely dense. It's not allowed on the internet unless it's true. And I paused Minecraft, turned and stared straight at him and was like, all right, man, I got to ask you.
Yeah.
Only question I have. If they won't let it on the internet unless it's true, who?
Hunter Biden's laptop.
29, baby. Good to see you. Welcome to the show, bud. We got to re-up on your show, dude. We never got a chance to do it. We had some scheduling conflicts on that, and then you blew up and got all bigger than me and stuff. And
who's that?
Belt Loop 29. You ain't been over there. You need to go check him
No,
out.
I have not. I because he blew up so damn quick that I didn't even get a chance to jump on that one. But I see the Batman logo, so I know I'm already down with that. So.
Yeah, no, Belt Loop 29 helps all kinds of people do all kinds of stuff. I don't even know where to get started on what he does. I mean, you can go over there and meet people that might come and watch your channel. You can go over there and might get your channel link dropped. You can go over there and just meet some folks that are real cool, or maybe find some channels you like to watch. I mean, there's a lot going on over there.
Yeah. I could. I'm a stalker. As soon as I'll be stalking y'all on demand. As soon as that. And I see that I'm subscribed to people that you're already subscribed to. So that's cool.
I'm Sasquatch. I lurk everywhere.
Oh, I do too. You just may never know it's me that's lurking. It could be one of my other personalities. You never know.
He just broke 2K. He just hit 2,000 subs. Like, I don't know, probably an hour and a half ago, maybe.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Time I looked, it was like 1990 something.
Yeah, we're at 2K.
Yep, that's fixing to happen.
Yep, 2K and 994 videos.
I want to bring up George Washington Carver for a second because I'm allergic
to peanuts. Please
do.
Everything
that man did is various parts of ruining my life.
Get him, God.
Yeah, no, I feel for Scully, dude. There ain't nothing really we could do for him except sit around and wait patiently for him to get his gumption back. You know, when you lose people, it fucking hurts, and it hurts bad. There ain't nothing to fix it. There's nothing anyone can do to help you except wait patiently and be there if you need it. That's it. That's all you can. Yeah, no.
Are we talking about Scully?
Belt Loop did this series of shorts where it was speaking Southern or something like that. It's explaining these words like you eat it, you want to, come get it, right? These kind of things that are Southern isms.
Yeah, Southern tale. Yeah, oh yeah. Like when we say fixing to, I'm about to run up yonder to the store and get something to drink.
On my way.
I'm on my way.
Right. It's one word. What's funny is I got a buddy who writes like that.
Like somebody was making fun of me the other day for Ima. Ima means I'm about to get up and whoop your ass. Ima is short for I'm about to.
Right.
That really pissed me off. I thought I was in education. What is Ima? I'm like, this hurricane, I'm about to get up and whoop your ass.
Ona.
Ona, my sister's name is Leona.
Oh, yeah. Ona is, I am going to. Ona.
Yeah.
I'll go over there and get some. Let me tell you. Get around there and poke in the camera. Wop.
Yeah. I don't understand what's so hard about our language because even when I play it in slow, it still sounds fast as shit.
What's up, Keeper? Good to see you, baby. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you.
And like, that's crazy. I do. My heart does go out to Scully. Like, I just read about that this morning.
We had just kind of gotten together on a little bit of an idea about doing, not Alice in Wonderland, but,
because they're doing Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. They've already cast for Alice in Wonderland and everything. Well, that ship has sailed. I was not in the mental state to be able to do any of that. I couldn't have promised anywhere at any given time. I just wasn't up to it. I was having migraines and shit. Freaking sinuses are going slam to hell in a bucket. It's terrible.
Yeah. Get off the dope. I'm just kidding.
Oh, it's just Jordan.
Shake that, but quit shaking that bottle there, buddy.
Shabri, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Good to
Sherry! See. Oh my God, Sherry, where the hell have you been, you beautiful bitch? I've missed you. It's so good to see you here.
Well, I just had to get out the foothills of the mountains. That's all, man.
Yeah. she's the one that absolutely devastated me last year. So I'm sitting here having a wonderful day, minding my own business. I get this email, and I look, and it says the guy's phone's been destroyed. I was like, this bitch lying. She gotta be lying. I flip on the TV, and I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God, no. I was devastated. But she has told me about some really cool places, and she's actually rather close to me. We got to link up sometime. I got an insider. Into the Biltmore house, and guess what I'm doing next week?
Getting arrested?
No, I hope not. Surely hope not. If I could say, I know I'm going to the Italian. They have an Italian Renaissance thing they're fixing to start up there. Yeah. And I got invited.
Yeah, bud, eat it down. After the show, all right. So we're gonna do this thing we got going on here. We got about another 15 minutes of it, and after that, I'm gonna drop the link, and most anyone that wants to come up can come up. Previous guests are preferred, and the topic's gonna shift. I've got a video set up, and I don't know if you'll enjoy it or not. It could be seen as offensive by some people, but it cleared YouTube censors twice, so we're gonna roll with it, because there's certain ideas in this world that I don't like. I come from a concept of meritocracy. I believe the best individuals will serve the best needs, right? By nature of being better, they do better, and it does no good to drag other people down like crabs in a bucket. That is not how the human race excels.
Exactly. Like when women tear one another down, like there ain't no point in that. There really isn't.
There is a point, but does not serve a greater interest. The point,
there's a way to go about it and not tear them down, but to build them up.
About it, no good comes from it. It's just the crab instinct of, if you're doing better than me, YouTubers do it too, and it's a really weird thing. If you're doing better than me, then I must be less than you. But I don't see it that way at all. Let's take Truth Be Told. When I hooked up with Truth Be Told, he had just really gotten into uploading videos. He had been cop watching for maybe 6 months already, but he hadn't uploaded anything. And he uploads a video. I find it, and I'm like, hey, dude, come talk to me. We can work this out. You figure out how to get your stuff edited and uploaded easier. And he was like, okay. And we talked about it backstage, and we did a little show. And I just started my channel. It was horrible. There was no good part of it. It was just an absolutely terrible show. The sound was trash. There was no format to speak of. The shit was just thrown randomly up on the screen. It made no sense. I had an almost 2-minute intro for the paleontology bit. It was all horrible, but it was hilarious. The whole thing was hilarious because it was so very bad. It was like a 12-year-old project. I'm not even joking. Anyway, he stuffs through the whole thing, comes back the next week because he had so much fun and learned so much that he came back to come be like, okay, so I figured this part out. How do I do this part? Okay, all you got to do is go in and, change that. Oh, you're using the wrong format or whatever, right? Got all that straightened out. Homie went from like 215 subscribers to 14,000.
Whoa, wow.
Doing it
exactly. You know how long I've had my channel?
It was fucking beautiful, dude. I watched him sit down and literally slowly put together all 4 of the points that I'd given him. I was like, all you need is a decent this, a good straight shot of this, and this. You can get rid of all the rest of it and just upload those bits, and they'll go huge. But then you connect it through links to the full video, so that when people say, well, you just cherry pick what you want out of the video, well, the link's right there, big dog. Go for it. He's like, that's genius, man. No, that's YouTube. That's how it actually works. That's not anything special. Right? That's just the gears of the system. So when you have another auditor there, you use their on YouTube to link their viewers to your viewers. And he sat for about 10 seconds and went, that's why you interview other channels. And I went, every single channel I interview adds me to their search algorithm, and it's not spurious. It's not just that I'm randomly attaching myself to a random channel or some
Yep.
big channel trying to get views. I've literally interacted with every single one of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And you're all
Me too.
flaky.
Nigga, you flaky, shut up.
Not quite, man.
No, I generally, even like, I love the interaction that I have with my subscribers alone, but like being able to interact with other creators and their subscribers, whether we agree on things or we disagree on things. But I have a thing hanging up on my wall over here that I bought when me and my buddy had first gotten together, and it's two grumpy old men sitting on a park bench. One of them is kind of confused, like he's not understood why his buddy's so pissed off. And the comment is, if both of you always agree, one of you is unnecessary.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, look, Baby Nuts is in the house. Hey, dear. How you doing?
Good to see you, bud. Welcome to the show. Kat is here.
Kat. Oh my God. I feel privileged.
I'm actually
Kat, so.
My gear has not done. I shouldn't say this right now because we're only halfway through, but my gear hadn't twitched even once, and I've been doing all of this stuff. So I actually kind of want to
toot your horn.
I was thinking about adding a sound deck to all of this, but after this most recent glitch, I don't know if I need to add anything else to it. I kind of feel like I might be riding the ragged edge of it already.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you do that. Your whole show, your whole setup, and all of that. Like everything I've done on my channel too, from the start, has been completely self-taught. For a while, I just would upload from my phone straight to YouTube what I could. Then I found out about editing apps. Then I had to self-teach everything within the editing app. I had to teach myself. Then I purchased stuff in the app so that I could do more stuff and shit like that. And then it wasn't until this year that I got a microphone. And then like a year and a half ago is when I got the ring light.
All right, bud.
I have another microphone.
Coming by, man. I mean, you ain't got to stay and watch all of us jabber. I mean, hell, I'm not that interesting.
Mm-mm. Hell, we're not even that good looking compared to you, dear, with your little baby face.
Right.
I know. Shadow, he's always shaved and clean and just so prim and proper. It's just so adorable. I love giving him shit because he's younger.
Because let me tell you how I ended up with this beard.
Beards are epic.
If you can grow a beard, but I always had one of those Joe Dirt beards. It always grew in all white and trashy like that. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. I know this sounds weird. So when I was about 37, 36, I decided to get off of every drug known to man. And I did it by basically locking myself in a bedroom and not
for about
life. 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
In truth, about 2 months. But after 3 weeks, I started poking my head out occasionally. And I took a shower. And I realized,
I was going to say shower and pee.
Right. And I didn't have any of my shaving implementations in the bathroom. So I had to go and get all new shaving stuff. And when I came back, my wife looked at me and she went, you don't have to shave that if you don't want to. And I was like, am I just ugly and you don't want to see my face no more? She's like, no, it's kind of sort of distinguished. You have nice colors. And I was like, whatever. Okay. And I just kind of trimmed it up a little bit. But I've never had a beard, so I don't know how to trim a beard. I have no clue how any of that's done.
Oh, wow.
Sober Squatch, right? Hell, it was a year and a half before I took my first drink after deciding all of that. When I went sober, I went dead stone cold sober. I went sober as a judge. Like cold turkey, hardcore. I mean, seizures and everything, the whole night.
Oh, yeah, that's tough. I've not had that coming off of when I have detox.
The worst of the show, Bo. To see you. You know Joe's Secret Garden?
I think I've heard of him only briefly.
Dude be growing that mad fire. Like he be sitting in his little grow tent smoking his grow out. Like he be putting layers of THC on the outside of his grow because he be in the tent with it, like streaming. Fucking amazing. Bongs up. Joe's
Secret Garden. Yeah, I'm catching up all that shit. Mine's there's like a second or two delay. I love everybody's. I thought Mandatory Carey was in here.
Yeah. I like him. A lot of people try to say he's abrasive or something, and sure, whatever.
I've been called abrasive too, bro. No shit. I've
but-
also been told I was a banshee. I was like, yes, suck my balls. I'm small. I have to be loud.
Here's the thing, though. If you think mandatory carry is abrasive, you really need to get your little butt hurt checked. And you put some ointment on that thing or something.
No, I don't think he's abrasive. It takes a lot for me to call someone abrasive.
Well, I will admit that he said like the 6 verboten words on live on my channel, but it was my very first stream. And I
What
was
are those words?
not saying them live. I had like 7 freaking subscribers or something, and I was trying to figure out how to do the live stream with StreamYard and OBS. And in the process, I had accidentally gone live with StreamYard while trying to figure out my OBS. And so I wasn't looking at StreamYard at all for like 30 minutes. We had been sitting there talking shit straight out, like totally candid. God knows what's in that bit. For almost an hour, when I reached over and was like, okay, we're going to go live. And I clicked the button that I thought went live, and it wasn't. It told me that it wouldn't, but I looked over and it said I was live, and I was like, okay, we're live. But right before this, I was like, we're fixing to go live. And he says, okay, let me go ahead and get this out of my system. Florin, filth. All right, let's go. And I clicked it and was like, we might have already been live. And he was like, what? I'm not sure, but I think we've been live for like 30 minutes at this point. He's like, oh shit. I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh. My bad.
Private, delete, excommunicate. It's inevitable.
It happens sometimes.
If you're going to be doing any amount of streaming, and I'm a very, very, very careful individual, and if you go look, there are mistakes.
Well, you would be able to tell, but I went back recently and found a few of them myself, and those are no longer available unless you got the link, because they're private. They're private, or they've been taken down altogether.
Right.
And I still have 420 something videos.
For the most part, I private most of these live streams for Sasquatch Shills. Later, this episode, this part will be uploaded, and this part will be available. And the rest after this is only available to people who know how to go about finding it. Now, I'll straight tell you how to do it. It's not even hard. This stream will be made unlisted, which means you only get to it with a direct link from someone who has it. She has shared this stream to her community tab, which means in a year you will be able to go back and find this community tab with this full live stream available and get the back end of it. But because it's unlisted, I think I can still use it for remixes. That's why sometimes you find remixes that you cannot find on my channel. It's because if you think for a minute and go, well, who is he interviewing, and go to their channel and check their community page, you'll usually find the original stream somewhere back there in the backlog. Carrie tried, he didn't try to, but he made a damn good effort at burning my channel down before it ever got started. It could have happened because he did the thing that they don't want you to do. He said the things, all of the things at once.
Why? Why did he not want?
We didn't know. What's up?
Okay. So will they just automatically take your channel down?
Yeah, no, Beltloop was here a little while ago. I think he dipped out a few minutes ago, but he was here for a minute. Although I don't know how that works. Shouldn't y'all be able to like walk around the house and find him?
What's up, AJot?
That's American Jot. That's former AJot. One day.
AJot, get him, girl, get him.
Get him. Yeah.
Has anyone seen Gary? What do you mean, Gary? Is he like? Oh, he was here earlier.
Here a little while ago. Yeah.
He was here earlier.
Jot. Thank you. All right. You know what you've done?
What?
You've done a show.
I've done a whole show.
You done a whole show?
I did a whole show.
We got this one last thing we got to do. And
I
then
know.
we're going to pop right back in. So I want you to tell everybody what you're all about and what you like doing.
I just love being a lurker. I stalk other. I'm kind of like him, but I just don't interview people as much. I do art, and I'm very belligerent and speak the truth out in public a lot. I have no filter whatsoever. I'm pretty much the world's most inappropriate grandmother.
Fair.
But I love everybody.
Magnificent. All right, I'm gonna set you backstage right quick, have a little chit chat with them, do a little musical number over here, and we'll
I'm
be
gonna
right.
listen back, go potty, and I'll be back.
I'll get right with you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of Sasquatch Shills, not the end of the stream. We'll be back together with everybody after a very few minutes, but I just want everyone to remember that I love each and every one of you like a brother and a sister, but if y'all give me any trouble tonight, I'll run every damn one of y'all off this mountain. Now I got to figure out which outro to use. We're going to go with the new outro.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you, darling. Them long tan legs got me falling.
All right, giggity. Let's light this candle just the way it's supposed to be. We're gonna take a little vote here in a minute. Let's clear this vote thing up over here. Let's end the poll. Let's see. Boom shakalaka. Where did it go? Come on. Oh, there it is. Apparently there is a tie between no and it's turning all the squirrels gray. I love my peoples. You can always rely on them to be absolutely absurd. Go ahead, burn it down from the inside, dude. Just get me a hot dog out of the refrigerator before you start. We're going to be hungry later. Let's see. Nope, not that one. We need this. No, not that. We need this. Is that right? Let's see. Yes, that is correct. Exactamundo. So let's go ahead and skip to that. There it is. Pause that. Keep that there. Unmute this. Go to the invite page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to allow people up on panel if interested. You're not required to do it. However, previous guests are preferred. Carrie, be nice. Maybe you might be the most normal one here. That's fucking terrifying, dude. But I've read the manifesto. Skadoosh. Have y'all been paying attention to these mug shots that are running by under me? What's up, Freeside? Welcome to the show, bud. No, you can come up, babe. You're good. I was kind of hoping K-Dot might swing by, but he don't love me. That man don't love me like he should. He should love me like a soft, cuddly, stuffed animal. I want to be his little spoon. Oh no, you don't have to play nice. Your mean is enjoyable. Carrie, he has, look, people say he's abrasive. Personally, I think he's humorous. I think it's funny. Mainly because I don't take offense to shit. I don't care. You have to give a shit in order to be offended. And if you don't give a shit, it's just words. It's like wind blowing through a knothole, right? What we got over here? Can I see a little bit of something? Like throw me some gang signs or any kind of whatever. Like, come on, Ville. You know how it works. No? Yes? What is up, Ville?
Yo.
We got babies. Hey, babies.
Yep. Trying to get them in the bath.
I hear you.
And I got them watching Shaun the Sheep. Gotta do spring cleaning in this place, man. Messy.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, Princess. I did. I thought I made a comment on it, but I've been having phone troubles, and like every now and then when I'm commenting, it like flatlines and restarts, and I'll think something posted that didn't. I don't know. I hate modern technology. I despise it. We should be using drums. All right, so I have a bit of a testy after show here. And to give you a clue to how testy it might be, the names of this video is The Truth About the Irish, the First Slaves Brought to America. And then Mr. Reagan did Everything is White Supremacy. Apparently including the enslaved Irish. I'm going to see how those stack up against each other. Hey, Carrie, you probably shouldn't. But I mean, like, whatever you got to do to help yourself sleep at night, you know, I don't have no issues with it, but I mean, it just seems, I don't know, uncomfortable. We get you one of them blow up dolls, man. It's much more comfortable instead of black brass knuckles. I bet you named them something like Bertha, Bessie, or something. I'm sorry, honey. I can't go out tonight. I have to stay home with Bessie. It puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the knuckles again.
Damn.
Yeah,
he was to talk about his brass knuckles. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. You see these axes?
You know, I don't have a problem with Carrie until he gets really drunk and starts hitting on me. That's when it starts getting really weird. Really weird. But I don't blame him. I'm a damn fine specimen of a Sasquatch.
Put that in the kitchen, sweetheart, please. All right, quit drinking my coffee.
Yeah, that's probably not
going to... 8 o'clock at night. It is 8 o'clock at night and you're not even 4 years old. Go put that down.
I'll be over there with a funnel. Be like, hold on, Ma. I'll be there in a second. No joke. According to my parents, I did not sleep for the first 8 months that I was home. They hands down, my pops to this day, that if I slept, it was while he was sleeping, is the way he puts it. Because he did not lay eyes on me when I wasn't laying there screaming.
Oh dear.
Well,
I can get them to sleep. Sometimes I have to use melatonin.
MVTV says he wears brass knuckles, but only because it makes him feel pretty.
Hey, get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, bon Dieu.
That's me. I'm sorry it took me a minute.
Hey, Em.
Hey, how are you guys?
Did you hear what the after show topic is?
Huh? No, what is it?
Irish slaves, the first slaves in America. And that's done by Forgotten History, which I'm gonna drop the link in chat here in a minute. But
I love that channel.
And Mr. Reagan has recently done a video entitled "Everything is White Supremacy," and I thought it was humorous, his take on the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. That's it, Pookie Bear. That's all you're getting.
What y'all doing?
My dog is so spoiled.
Oh, I got you licked on that one, honey. Let me tell you. I got me a moose-sized mastiff that operates at my wife's feet. Like, no joke, this dog is all about it. If my wife goes to the bathroom, he's laying down outside the door snuffling at it. If she goes outside, he's sitting at the door snuffling at it. If she gets in her car and drives away, unless she's gone for 4 hours, he's at the door snuffling at it until something internal clock inside his head goes, okay, she's not coming back.
And then as soon as she comes back, it's like it never even happened.
Oh, no. He goes absolutely batshit, starts tweeting like a little baby. This is a 102-pound mastiff. Looks like a freaking noose. It's huge, right? He tweets like a little bitty bird when she comes home.
Mm-hmm.
What's really funny is he's scared of cameras. So when you try to film it, he stops doing it and just stares at the camera.
And he does the same thing. And she's a Maltese. She weighs probably about five whole pounds. In a California king, I have to fight space with this dog. Ridiculous. She has to be in my armpit all the time.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
I had a niece.
How cute.
She attached to me real hard back, when she was like real young, 5, 6, 7. And this is around the same time I was growing my pepper patch. And I had habanero pepper I'd grown.
Mm-hmm. My dad would love you.
This kid comes by one afternoon, walks into the living room, has a bit of yellow something on her fingers, right? And she walks in and goes, Uncle Sasquatch, those grapes are hot. It's like Sunday afternoon. I'm laying there asleep on the couch, like a million miles away. And I hear her say, those grapes are hot. And I'm like, there's grapes. There are grapes in the refrigerator. They would not be hot. They're in the refrigerator. Why would they be hot? Unless the refrigerator was on fire, which makes no sense. The refrigerator's not on fire, so why would the grapes be hot? What grapes? Well, she's a child. Perhaps she doesn't know what a grape is, and she found something.
The grapes outside.
The grapes outside aren't grapes. They're habanero peppers, and we use those things to stop presidents from rioting. I get up.
Oh, my God.
She has wandered back outside at this point and is sitting cross-legged next to it with a lap full of bright yellow and orange habanero peppers, just eating them. So I'm standing there looking at it. Now, understand, she's not crying. She's not yelling. She's going, they're really hot. And I pick up my phone. I dial the Poison Control Center, and I called them. And I said, I got a question for you.
Is this okay?
Is there anything actually harmful about eating a hot pepper? And they were like, well, if they're not prepared for it, it can cause all. I said, I understand that, but she likes hot food. And she's sitting there eating habanero peppers off the bush. She said, stop her immediately. And I was like, but she seems to like it. And I went over and I got it, washed her hands and stuff, washed her up real good, got all the juices off of her and stuff. And as soon as she got back out of the tub, she suited back up, went out and noticed that I'd put it up on the shelf where she couldn't get to it. And she still said, Uncle Sasquatch, get my grapes down.
Mm-hmm.
Get my grapes down. I want hot.
Get my grapes down.
Get them down now.
So
My
brother comes home. Her dad comes home a couple of hours later, and he walks in and he picks up her shorts, throws them in the washing machine, and touched his nose.
Oh God, I bet it was on fire.
We almost had to take him to the hospital because he panicked and didn't know what had gotten on him. And I didn't realize he had messed with those clothes because I had picked them up with a pair of tongs. I mean, those things were radioactive.
Covered in pepper sauce, yeah.
He was soaked with habanero pepper sauce when I got to her. And she was fine, by the way. She never showed no to this day. This is one of those girls who sits down in a Mexican restaurant and eats the salsa with a spoon.
Now, her and my daddy would be best friends. My daddy loves to find the hottest pepper on the market every time they come out with a new one. Go get it and try it. And then he'll trick me into trying it just so he can laugh at me when I can't breathe. And I start crying because my eyeballs are sweating. And he'll call me
What's most twisted about this whole thing is this same pepper plant was used to flavor, or rather, we made chili in a big, like 9-quart pot, 9 quarts of chili. We put one pepper from this plant in 9 quarts of chili. We couldn't give that shit away.
It was too hot.
ungodly hot. One
I
pepper.
wonder what the Indians are putting in their food sometimes. That I'm telling you what, but I can't stop eating it either. It's so good, and I'll be on fire and like literally sweat pouring off of me to where I'm having to like wipe it out of my eyes to keep eating. I can't stop eating it though. I don't know what it is. It's a blend of curry and some other shit.
I've never been a big fan of curry. I hear that it's an acquired taste that once you start enjoying it, you really, really enjoy it.
I've got a little package of it, but I haven't really used it.
It's a lot of the way I've been exposed to it has to be I think has to do with the way it was cooked. The curry was cooked and what it was cooked with. Like his mom would make potatoes. She would make red skin potatoes, but she would season them with curry and something else, and they would be kind of spicy, but not overly spicy. And oh my god, I could eat them things all day long. And she'd make
This
some
right
kind
here,
of chickpea stuff with is it got tomato sauce, and has it got potatoes in it?
Shit is awesome.
Tony Shastry.
Let me tell you, man. You take some of that stuff and you get you one of those rotisserators, right? One of the big chicken rotisserators. You poke the things up the chicken's butt. You get it all strapped together like you're supposed to. You put the little clickers in the place, and then you take some of the liquid injectable seasoning stuff, and you inject it all up like a bad junkie, and then you take that stuff right there and you sprinkle it across the outside of it, rotate that sucker for about 30,000 miles, and you got something worth fucking eating, dude. That shit is unreal. And what'll happen is most of your stuff will fall off in the pan, but where it first started falling off will develop something called done streaks, and the chicken ain't done till the done streaks pop up. And when you get done, you don't even really have to take the thing apart because you can shake it and the chicken will just fall off of it. Shit just comes
really good.
I stumbled across another life hack if anybody's interested. Did you know you can take some thin cut bacon, wrap it around a Bubba burger, and stick it in a George Foreman grill, and it cooks up perfectly fine? It's
really
amazing, life changing. Throw you some extra sharp New York white cheddar on top of it, a little bit of pepper and some chives, and it's on like.
Because I don't have a George Foreman grill, or I'd be going to get me some bacon and burger right now. I'm not a big meat eater, so.
What's the brand on that one?
This is called Cajun Two-Step. Stale Cracker's a YouTuber, and this is his signature.
All right.
His signature spice. It's good. It's a lot like Tony's. I think he puts a little sugar in it.
Well, one issue with putting sugar in a dry spice like that is if you attempt to cook it with, in place, you're going to burn the sugar.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a fried?
Garlic, onion, bell pepper, jalapeno, paprika, sugar, and all that other stuff that's always in there.
I accidentally made a fried barbecue pork chop one time, and I knew how I did.
Oh my god!
Oh, this shit will make you slap all your
so good
in one go, dude. It is unreal. You have to start with medallions, like pork medallions. You have to start with some good backstrap, a pork loin, cut them kind of thin, and then you soak them. You get them very, very, very juicy wet. You put them all in a bag with some water, a little salt, some brine, a little pepper, and stuff like that. That's not the important part. The important part is getting them very, very wet. Right.
Right.
When you take them out,
that's what she said.
You put them on a plate that's got a little water in them. You drop them on the plate and you sprinkle just a tiny bit of dry shake barbecue rub on the top, and you pick it up carefully and drop it into the flour. And then you sprinkle a little bit on the other side and shake the flour so that it covers up. And then you sit there and let it sit for 3 minutes. You can do 5 or 6 in the same pile all at once, but you let it sit for 3 or 4 minutes, and then you carefully pick them out real gentle and cook them. And they have to be thin so you can cook them quick and not burn the sugar that's in the shake rub. Dude, it makes a god mess. It smokes up the whole freaking house. It is an absolute terror to create, but I do it about once a month because it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Amazing. It sounds like It sounds amazing. I
It is
like to cook
straight
stuff like that. too.
amazeballs. It is straight amazeballs, and it's something that I accidentally did one time because I grabbed the wrong spice. I grabbed the wrong bucket while I was all strung out on freaking drugs, and I was like, "Oh,
And
that's
I'm
wrong."
gonna do.
Well, shit, I'm gonna do it anyway. And so I ate that pork chop. I kept it for myself because I'd screwed it up, right? And it was awesome. And I immediately went back to the store and got another stack of pork chops. And the next day I cooked all of them like that. And I had like 3 or 4 cousins over that afternoon. I told them, I was like, dude, I stumbled across something. I'm going to try. It's going to make you slap all your mamas. Like, it's unreal. And I showed them what I did, cooked it. Like how it looked like a sewing circle. We had 5 big, furry, fuzzy, chalk encrusted, grimy white guys standing around a stove going, all right, look, so you need your flour like this, and you got to do it like this, and this has to be super duper juicy. And you can't cheat by using a tempura or egg or anything like that because it automatically burns the sugar when you start cooking it. If you're using a tempura,
Yeah.
it immediately burns the sugar before anything cooks. But otherwise, it is absolutely unreal.
I love that. I love caramelized sugar, anyways, or when it caramelizes and stuff. Now, when I worked at a particular pizza chain, I noticed that they switched over so they make their dough fresh every morning, right? That's the particular chain, except for their deep dish. Their deep dish is made out of a different kind of dough and a different type of oil altogether than the original dough. But they do make their dough fresh every morning. But it's the cheese and the way they layer the cheese around the edge with that oil that causes that crust that makes the deep dish, which is my favorite. And they also changed the cheese bread up because of that shit too. So I said, fuck them.
I used to work at Domino's and they get their dough balls out the freezer.
Yeah, that's how Pizza Hut is too. But dude, I could eat Pizza Hut the next day, cold, hot. I don't give a shit. I could eat it for almost a week later. I don't care if it's been in the refrigerator for a week. If it's been in the refrigerator for a week, I'll still eat it. I don't give a shit. Without even
I like the pineapples. Pineapples do go on pizza.
Yes, they do. And I used to have
an internet war with that one though.
When I would work the line, I'm not gonna lie, I would go over there and sneak little bits of the pineapple out of the thing when nobody was looking and just be eating the pie. I love it. Can't help it. Not gonna lie. Can't even help it. But that's probably why I don't work in fast food anymore either though. So
I never could work in food service. I don't smile when I'm working. If I'm thinking, I have resting asshole face.
You do. You'll have less wrinkles.
If I'm not paying attention, if I don't consciously,
make yourself smile, you'll have that. Yeah, it's natural look.
As I was growing up, I had a really fucked up grill. Like, it was bad. I had a really bad grill. And once I got my teeth fixed, no one in town recognizes me. If they haven't seen me in a couple of years, they won't know who I am. And I'll walk up and be like, hey, Shalina, how you doing?
And they don't know who you are.
Right. And because I know things,
Yeah. I know that, like, until very recently, and I mean this, when I say very recently, like, I've had this same grill my whole life, and it wasn't until the last 3 or 4 years that I've become, like, self-conscious or, like, insecure about it. And I think it's mainly because of the amount of dental ads that you see on TV or online, or, like, I know a lot of people that have gotten Invisalign to like straighten them up and stuff like that. And it's not a lot of my issues too with my teeth stem from a couple of different things. My jaw's been broke on I think my jaw's been broke on both sides, so you thought I'd knocked it back in place.
No.
At separate times. Oh yeah, and this arm, look, y'all, you can't really see it because the way I have this bracelet on. One of my arms broke, but it fractured.
Carrie, Snark and Sass is here.
So, and then there's that, and you can see the difference. But it healed it. The 2 bones that are in there, one of them healed at I think he said a 45 or 90 degree angle, because it was fractured And then in the process of the fracture healing, it wasn't like, I didn't have it wrapped up or anything. It was just a fracture, and I would keep stuff on it at night. But I ended up getting into it with one of my ex's sisters. She came to my house and got mouthy, and I let her know real quick that's not how I roll. But she fell on it, and it broke. And then I didn't go to the emergency room until the next day. But he said it was a clean break. But then the way it healed because of the stent they put on it, and the way I kept moving, because I was like, look, my wrist moves. So they put a stent and like a cast that just went from the wrist to the elbow. And then I went to work the next day. Like, I had to go to work. I have children. If the wrist moves and I can make a sandwich, I'm going to work. We'll deal with the arm shit later. But believe it or not, actually, because the bone calcified, and you throw a punch at me and I block, that's going to be the arm you hit. You're going to be the one hurt, not me.
Right.
And I'll expect it. My daddy trained me.
Fucking
like, we're small. We're small. Yeah. I'm like a ninja. I'm like a creepy little ninja.
Mutant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I took Mikado. My dad took Taekwondo, and then,
Yeah, my dad was jiu-jitsu, and then he also had a little bit of grappling training. So, like, I can ground fight. I would prefer not to, because if they're bigger than me and they get me face down, then usually I'm fucked. But if I get thin and I'm on my back and I get them in toe collar and armbar, they are done. They are done, and I have a death grip on my thighs. They will not come out of that. They will tap out.
I think it's funny. The funniest thing was the one time I bit the black belt in the thigh. I'm like, well, you should have had your thigh on my face.
You bit him.
Oh, yeah, I bit him. And he got up and he started shouting, "She bit me!"
Shove your body part in my mouth.
I put all my gold medals in the grappling.
Yeah. Grappling's it's tough. I've been watching UFC since the very first one on pay-per-view. Back in Shamrock and Royce Gracie days, Tank Abbott, Don Fry, all
Anybody
school.
who watches modern UFC and has not seen the Gracie train in action has no freaking clue what actual competition is about.
No, I need to watch more of that. I actually haven't seen too much of it.
Yeah, see, I know. Yeah, I can appreciate. And that's how I'll know how long people have been into it. I'm like, oh, if you don't know the Gracies and that whole family, they're like the hearts of UFC. They're like the heart family of UFC. The Gracies are, and the Shamrocks. But honestly, Tito Ortiz was hands down. I love me some Tito. Till he got with what's her name.
Well, if I start watching that, I'll keep my eye out for that. Thanks.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And my mom's a wrestling person. A lot of people in the South still are. But why don't they come to the South more often? What's that about?
That is a good damn question.
You know, there's a town over here not too far away that has a ninja parade once a year. And they all come out and act like there's a parade, and nobody ever sees anything go through.
A what?
They don't actually have a parade. They just have a day that they come out and do a street party. And then it's tradition. They used to have a parade, but the town went downhill. They didn't have the money for it. So they called it a ninja parade, an international ninja gathering. And then they all get along the side of the road and cheer like there's somebody walking down the road. It's fucking hilarious. Meanwhile, in my hometown, every year we have a reenactment where they come and gather up all the people down at the town square and hold them hostage with fucking muzzle loaders and shit. Horses, cannons.
That sounds like fun.
I would like to see that. I just would like to watch that from afar. We used to have Bell Share when I was younger. There was a festival that would happen over the weekend in either July, at the end of July going into August, called Bell Share. That's when I had this cigarette put out in my eye, which is why I have an issue with leopard print.
All right, so there's so many questions that come to mind. First, so all right, leopard print. Let's start with the leopard print. Why?
Okay.
What
so the woman.
I'm going blind. I can actually understand what she means.
Yeah, so I'm 3 years old, and Bell Share was this huge 3-day festival where there was like all kinds of local art vendors. There would be like musicians, concerts. There was a children's play area. You could get face paint, all kinds of shit, right? I'm 3 years old, and I do what every 3-year-old does when they see a play area. They break away from their parent and a dead run. And at dead run towards the play area, I'm not paying attention to bitch to my left who has got a cigarette in her right hand and coming at a downward swing because she had just taken a puff, at which I run smack dab into that with my left corner of my eye. It instantly freaks me out and probably knocked me out for a split second. I come to, all I see are giant boobs in leopard print in my face and a woman with nails like an inch and a half long digging in my eye. And next thing I know, dad comes through like a Sasquatch, scoops me up, and proceeds to run to the nearest medic trailer tent and get my eye patched up. And then I refuse to leave Bellshire. I'm like, no, I'm going back to the play area. Leopard print messes me up because it scarred me for life. I've had issues out of that same eye my whole life, and I think it's directly due to probably scar tissue in my tear duct from that cigarette.
Well, yeah, that would be pretty bad, but
I never smoked.
Because
I had to wear a patch on my eye. Yeah. Then there was Married with Children. Couldn't really watch that very often because that occurred after the fact. I was like, God, if it wasn't bad enough, now you got it on TV in front of me, and then Al's an idiot. It just messed me up for a long time. Leopard print did.
I have a leopard print story.
Leopard.
Okay, so what I thought you were talking about was that weird dappling light thing, because I have like severe retina problems, and so I could look around the room and I'll see dappled light that isn't there.
Oh wow!
That's
wow,
cool. Neat. Never bored. So I got a buddy of mine who never learned to read. He doesn't have any learning disabilities or nothing. He just did not attend school. He was the second oldest of the kids, and if you've never seen an 8-year-old who just flat decided not to go to school and just started leaving the bus whenever he'd get off at the school, he'd just leave. There's not much you can do about it. And so after he got about 10 or 11, dude just put him to work, and he did that instead. So when he turned about 25, he decided he wanted to learn to read, and he went to a few courses, and it didn't really work. And one day he asked me, he was like, man, can you help me learn to read? I said, yeah, man, let me ask you a few questions before we get started. What do you like to read? I don't know, man, I can't read. All right, well, what do you like to watch on TV? And we got together and found some books that when he heard the story, he was like, man, that sounds awesome. And my man can read now. It took, about a year and a half, but he was able to put together enough of a vocabulary to be able to read.
That's really fucking awesome.
During this, remember I told you I'm evil, right?
Damn it.
But that was really nice of you.
That was really nice. Now take it to the evil side there, dark side.
During this time period, part of the agreement was that I would be ribbing on him the whole time, but not about not reading anything else that come to mind. And in the process of all this, absent-mindedly one afternoon, he walked in with a brand new pair of fucking pajama pants, and was like, check these out, man. I got some leopard print pajama pants. And I corrected him. I said, leopard. He said, leopard print. And he walked away. And I looked at the other guys in the room, and I said, does that man have any idea what a leopard is? And they all just shook their heads, said no. And I went, all right. So obviously we're going to have to read something that has to do with leopards, right?
Oh, God. You grab a Bible.
Oh, no, that's good. We all need to learn what that is.
Right. Okay. So he goes through the whole bit, knows what a leopard is, identifies, looks it up, knows what a leopard is, looks it up, and continues calling them leopard. And so
leaning into it.
Months, this guy's running around wearing, get this, hilarious to me, because everybody assured him that it was quite cool because they're all evil too. He had a long sleeve leopard print top and long pants leopard print bottoms that were two leopard prints of two different and he wore these things all over the place. The motherfucker wore them to the club one night.
No, he did
not. I laughed so hard. I'm talking cowboy boots and a hat.
Oh my God.
With people wearing what he called his leopard print suit.
I gotta check the door. Somebody's at the door. Hold on.
So
I can't read.
One day, many moons later, I run into him. Many moons. I run into him at a gas station, and he walks across all the islands, walks straight up to you, and said, "Fuck you, Sasquatch." Difference between a leopard and a leopard is, and goes back.
Apparently did.
And I was standing there putting gas in my truck, and I started laughing and blowing snot bubbles and just kicking around like the most early shuffle on the floor, on the ground outside the freaking. It undone me. I lost all my ability to maintain the cool. I couldn't even talk to the lady at the pump. I was just giggling my ass off the whole time.
I don't blame you. He said, I know what leopard. I'd be like, apparently you don't, my man. But anyways, there's clearly just, and another thing, okay, so watching the Alex Murdaugh trial, okay, if I was a judge, and you know me, y'all, I'm a freaking weirdo. I'll wear whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want to, except in the courtroom. And if I was a judge, and you come up in my courtroom, and you're wearing, and you are on the defense or the prosecution, you had better come in there wearing something classier than motherfucking leopard print or damn snake skin or zebra print. And print is unacceptable. This is a damn jury and courtroom, not a zoo. Stay in your lane.
Purpose.
I mean, but that whole thing was also fucked up.
Dude.
If you watch the case, there was reasonable doubt. I'm not saying the man ain't guilty, but we got to go on the court of law. And if there is any doubt, how you going to convict this man and sleep at night and there's doubt?
Hold on.
I know he didn't come out guns blazing with 2 damn shotguns and shoot them that accurate on opiates. Come on.
Ahead of the curve here. Let's back up and let everybody catch up to where M started this conversation. All right. Was it South Carolina or North Carolina?
South Carolina.
Hampton. There is a county called Colleton in which there is a town called Beaufort. In Beaufort, there are 3 primary families in this town. 2 of them do not matter. One of them is the Murdaugh family. The Murdaugh family has had more accidents and deaths in association with a particular individual than is conscionable. Wife, son, his son's girlfriend, and a few, one of his housekeepers and a couple of other people, all mysteriously died under mysterious circumstances. And but some of them were.
The judge's son died.
The wife and the son were outright murdered. One was shot by a Blackout 500, and the other one was shot by a shotgun. And the one that was shot by the 500 was shot twice.
300 Blackout.
Or 300, my bad. 300 Blackout.
300 Blackout with a scope. Oh, honey, I was there. Honey, I was there. There's a whole town in South Carolina was my last name. We don't live there no more for a reason. We ain't trying to fuck with that.
Well, the only reason it struck my interest is the place we go on vacation is a little island not too far away called Edisto. You got to go straight through.
Edisto is where Miss Murdaugh lived. Maggie.
What's
Maggie lived at Edisto. Maggie lived at Edisto.
At Edisto, not Pond Edisto.
No, she lived.
I thought you said Yellowstone for a second there. I was like, what?
Edisto.
My signal's kind of choppy.
On the East Coast, there is a national park called Edisto National Park, State Park. Actually. And
did you say national park?
Well, it's a state park. There's also an island called Edisto Island, right? And whenever people are referring to the area, just like we call it Low Country, the state park is at Edisto, and the island itself is Pontoc Edisto. It has to do with the language that's spoken on the island that's called Gullah.
I've heard of Gullah.
Yeah, Gullah's weird.
I've never heard of Gullah, and my family was originally from Charleston, and obviously,
yeah, no, it's right outside the Chucker. It's like right down the green.
I didn't know that there was a national park close to Edisto. I didn't know a state park. To me, it doesn't matter whether or not it's state or national, just that there is a park of some sort. That piques my interest for a number of reasons. Now, where's my green pea?
Well, this one is it's a pretty big park, and it covers a couple of different river basins. And so Colleton County is
But they went out of their way not to bring up the national park part of that in the case. If they mentioned it, it was very briefly, and they like really kept associating it to another place called Murdoch Island, or I even heard them referred to as the boat incident that occurred near Paris Island. Now that we know that's the Marine Corps area where they do boot camp. So why would they bring that up? I thought that. Did you know that the judge's son died during the trial? By the way.
because Paris Island Search and Rescue is the Coast Guard location over there. There's like 3 or 4 of them right around there.
And they did deploy them too to help look for Mallory Beach, I believe.
That's spooky.
Yes.
But
yes, that was the Paris Island connection.
Okay. Just checking. But also, I found it odd that the day that they read the verdict, they also decided after Judge Pryor, this is a case in Idaho, the Lori Vallow, Chad Daybell case. His lawyer, John Pryor, has petitioned the judge multiple times to sever their cases and try them separately, which Judge Boyce refused. But the day Murdoch goes through his shit, now we're going to sever the cases. So hers starts on the 3rd, and then we don't know when his is going to start.
Okay.
And I've been following that case since day one, since way before they even got arrested. And there's multiple murders tied to that, and a lot of Mormonism.
Let me give you an idea that may or may not have sunk in from the Netflix documentary made on it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Alec Murdaugh was embezzling millions of dollars.
Oh, what did he do with that money?
That's not my concern. You don't accomplish that level of embezzlement for 20 freaking years without collaborators.
Exactly.
I give you a diddly-do to a damned if I know.
3 judges
on TV there were involved in some part of his embezzlement shenanigans. And this is the way I look at it. This is the cleanest version of this story they can come up with, put on TV. Because what really happened is unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, we don't. Yeah. There's some stuff. Unfortunately, like, think about it. If it wasn't for these different things, it sucks that it has to be that way. But if some of these things didn't go on, there would be nothing for other people to do. If there weren't deaths by homicide, a suspicious manner, or whatever, deaths that need to be investigated, there'd be no need for pathologists, forensic pathologists, examiners, crime scene techs, all that shit. There'd be no need for that. If there was no quote unquote cancer research centers, there, I mean, come on. I know they created cancer. I can't even go down that road.
And Emmy dear, if frogs had wings, they wouldn't bump their ass when they hop.
They wouldn't do what?
Bump their ass when they hop.
Do they?
Wings.
They don't have wings. Why do you always say I'm slow? Y'all, sometimes he'll say shit that will fuck me up for 3 weeks. They'll pop up randomly. I'm like, what did that even mean?
If they had wings, they wouldn't bump their ass when they
But then they would. How we know they're not crickets that lost their wings? How we know they overgrown crickets that lost their wings?
Flying frog and
that damn Alex Jones.
Guinea.
Man, I've been watching a bunch of those dudes who clip Alex Jones and Joe Rogan into Space Marine armor. That shit is funny.
Which one is that? Have you watched any of the ones with him and Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock?
No, I don't think I saw too many of those. There was a whole bunch of him and Joe Rogan.
And Jimmy Corsetti just brought insight. They talk a lot about the Rishat structure and stuff. Jimmy and them, they're coming to Asheville soon. Right. I don't think they're here just to talk about that shit.
Rishat structure. Let's cover that one right quick.
Let's talk about that.
The issue I have with that is the interpretation that comes from was it the Timaeus I think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
I think so.
description of Atlantis that fits the Rachet structure pretty well.
Okay.
From an overview, but here's the problem. Supposedly, it was a sea power, right? Atlantis is supposed to have been in the ocean, and the theory there, the hypothesis proposed is that whatever event it was that turned the Sahara into a desert also altered the Richat structure's location vertically. But we're talking about 800 feet. That's just to get juicy. That's not even ships sailing in. We're not talking about it being a port. We're talking about 800 feet to it being sea level. And then like another 50 feet for it to be useful as some sort of seagoing passage for small boats. But that's not the description we get from Plato. It was a sea power, rings of islands, hundreds of ships. It would have to be even deeper for it to be capable of dealing with deep draft ships and whatnot. We're talking multi-tier trimarines and stuff.
Right.
But if we're talking 12,000 years ago, maybe we're not talking about a Bronze Age Navy like they were. Perhaps we're talking canoes, rafts, things like Polynesians run in.
Right. That's what I would assume.
In that case, it would be a bunch of canoes, and it could be a swamp area like Mexico City and not actually a coastal environment like Bimini.
I thought they had found stuff like that.
I thought that someone had found these concentric rings at the edge of the Sahara Desert itself.
Yeah, that's the right.
Wasn't that Jimmy? That's Jimmy, right inside.
That is what we're talking about.
Yes. Okay. See, Jimmy is a little late to the game, but it cracks me up. Anyways, but I had been watching Graham and Randall on Joe Rogan. I've watched, and they've had debates with what's his name, Schremer, a couple of times about this. Because first of all, they like to call Graham a pseudoscientist. He is not a pseudoscientist. He's a friggin' journalist and an author. And Randall is a geologist, and they do didactic studies. And there was one going on in the mountains here, and I know where some markers are up along the parkway, but I think they may personally be coming here not only to do their lecture, which is ridiculously overpriced for where they're located. Just saying. I think they're actually here to look at that shit up on the mountains, because if I go out here towards the end of where I'm at, where the interstate is, and look straight out in front of me, there is a mountain that looks completely different from the other ones. It looks literally like a pyramid covered in grass. It's like, how is that not a pyramid when that looks like a mountain? I mean, that does, but that is so damn straight line. That's not a freaking mountain.
I'm 325 feet above sea level here.
Yeah.
But you can go right down the road a little ways to one of these stream beds and dig around in it long enough. It takes a little while. They're not common, but they're not exactly uncommon either. And you can find shark's teeth and sand dollars all over the side.
You find shark's teeth all the time? I've never been able to find one.
Regular enough that I can take you to a place and basically walk you around for 45 minutes while we kick stuff off of a limestone shelf that's over here. You basically go in with, if it's dry, you can go in with a leaf blower and just blow the sand off the top, and you can find in the limestone. And sand dollars, ray teeth, shark's teeth, like 30 or 40 different species of shark's teeth. Sometimes you'll come across some kind of fossil stuck in the sandstone, like a fish bone or the spinal column of something, you know.
Have you seen the dry spot of Antarctica where they find mummified fish and penguins?
All right. So penguins, we're going to have to take a step back for this one. I want to ask you, when did penguins start using Antarctica for a birthing location?
I don't know anything about it, other than what this got to do with the Operation High Jump.
Okay.
And then shit that they've discovered after this.
I have not found. What's up, Bug Bouncer? Wait, the Bug
Dang,
Bouncer.
my headphones fell out for the last like couple seconds. Damn it.
We went from the Eye of Terror to now we're in Antarctica talking about mummified penguins in the dry valley of Antarctica, which is I
Right,
think
it was the
north
penguins
of
I missed.
the
All right.
mummified penguins of Antarctica.
Hey, May, give me a second. I got to say this. It's a long name. The Bug Bouncer Louis Cart, Scarda Superhero.
Okay.
Aren't there possibly pyramids in Antarctica too?
There's a debate about
Pyramids. I live in the Blue Ridge Mountains. There's some like the oldest. That's some of the oldest shit on the planet. There's no doubt there's a pyramid that I'm looking at. There's no doubt. Plus, that alignment was literally right over top of that fucking thing I'm telling you is the damn pyramid. They'll be here in June, I think it is. It's either at the end of April or right at June for 3 or 4 days.
Did you hear about the possible Mayan village found in North Georgia? All right.
No.
The reason it's been attributed to Mayans is a combination of the type of stonework that was done there and the type of jade found on the summit. It is apparently a readout built in a way that none of the local natives have ever constructed anything. The period was an anti-stone zone, man. They didn't use rock for that kind of stuff. They used long houses and bark houses and stuff like that. So to come across a woodland period fort that is apparently built in the Mayan style on Mayan longitudes. Wait, what am I looking for?
Ley lines.
The star charts.
They're
alignments.
The alignments, yeah.
That's the alignments.
Exactly like the
right,
other.
Like it's full moon and Saturn's in Pisces right now.
So there's a couple of old books from the late Mayan period that were not books. I don't know what to call them. You've got the Papavui, and then you've got this other book that I can never remember the name of. And they're basically picture books with some Mayan scripts in them, not much. So it's kind of sketchy to try to translate from these, but luckily they left enough of the Mayan script everywhere else that it's fairly well translated, although we're not positive. That's part of what we do. If my actual mods were in chat, you'd have your link dropped, but there ain't no drama happening over here, man. Believe it or not, I'm the anti-drama. I know exactly that shit.
What was missed there?
I don't know. He apparently thought we were dramaing or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's probably something fucking troll.
And sometimes you got to yell at her to get her attention to stop her from going off.
She's gonna be trolled.
I'll straight up put you fit like a 4-year-old. I'll do it.
I don't blame you, man. I don't put up with that shit either. Like, we're adults. If you can't use your words, then what are you doing?
Well, we're on YouTube, and you have
that too.
You have two things that you can use to get your point across here. It is visual and auditory. That's it.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. And if you're so damn remedial that you get butthurt over every single misinterpretation you have with an emoji or what is considered to be an inflection of someone's text, then you need to check yourself, motherfucker, because that's stupid as shit right there.
Hey, we got to make a decision right quick before we get too far. We got about 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left, and we got a question we got to answer. What is going to be showing in the theater after show?
Oh, that's a good one.
Or are we going to be watching? We want to finish Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, or are we going to be doing something different?
The Men Who Stare at Goats.
Girl, that is the shit right there. I love her. The Men Who Stare at Goats was talking about that the other day because people don't believe me when I tell atmokinesis is real. Telepathy is real. My grandson told me he was on his way before his mama did. Then we argued the entire time she was pregnant over what day he was to be here. I said, I'll settle for the 4th because he was due in May. I said, because obviously I'm a nerd. May the 4th be with you. I said, but I'd prefer you show up on the 6th like your dad, your sister, and I. And he was like, screw that, Gigi. I will be here on the 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo, like my Hispanic ass should, and you will deal with it. And when does this child get here? On the 5th.
Yeah. May 5th,
no,
2021.
Carrie,
That one right there.
So he'll be,
you're the man that goats stare at.
your kid's birthday was last year, May 5th.
2021. Last year was 2022.
Or 21. Okay, 2022 was when mom was born. Last year. Yeah, so he'll be turning 1 this year. What a trip, because Sasquatch and my 16-year-old son have the same birthday. May the 5th. What, talking about some little smart asses, huh? They could have been here on the 4th. May the 4th be with them. And then they was like, no, we're going to come in cool like that on the 5th. Because why? Because 2 plus 5 is 7. And now they think they're better than everybody.
That makes perfect sense. I'm absolutely.
No, that,
How about the rest of you? Are you following the conversation a little while ago?
Look how handsome. And I bet he was walking by the time he was like, what, 8, 9 months? At the most.
Actually, yeah, she did start walking at about 9 months, which was like sooner than the others.
Oh yeah, my granddaughter started walking at 8. 8 months. I have a video. She was walking at 8 months old. And my daughter was walking at 11.
She had this determined look on her face, like, how are you all doing that? I'm gonna
I want to do that. I'm tired of this sitting shit. What is that about? And they were gone. I bet Giovanni's probably walking by now. He wasn't when he was here at Christmas, which he was 7 months old. But his dad's already home. So I bet he's probably walking. Matter of fact, I bet my daughter's still like.
And yeah, she's about to be 2, and that's as long as her hair's ever been.
What is today? Yes, today's the 7th. Yesterday was Bella's 3rd birthday. I said happy 3rd on the 6th because she remembered. She's supposed to be here on the 6th. It's tradition. But my daughter and her biological brother were born on the 9th. So you're either born on the 6th or the 9th. And the boys were like, no, we'll just show up on the 5th. We do what we want.
I was born July 9th.
July 9th. See, look.
That was fun.
The 9th. There's something up with it in it.
87.
I was born at 86. 12, 6, 86.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12, 6, 86. But Sasquatch, I'm not gonna lie, this got me a little messed up because you know how I am about synchronicities. So last year, if you look at my podcast, I did a podcast that was on the 22nd. I called it Tuesdays or something like that because I have a friend whose birthday is on 2/22, right? So it was 2/22/22. Then I also did one on the 1st of March because that's also a good friend of mine's birthday.
Hey, Carrie.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Carrie,
Yeah.
Eb's week is pinned is actually in the description of the video. And it pretty much has everything she has to say about herself in there.
And about 400 some odd videos. And then shit that I just like to. If you really good at reading, I say a lot of really important shit in those little text box. People just don't always catch it.
No, I'm talking about the description for your channel.
Oh yeah, it's all up in there. The weirdness is abundant.
I use it for the description of your show.
Yep, it's in the it's in the description of the channel.
Right.
And that's kind of vague too, don't you think? I thought about updating it. I was like, that's a little vague considering everything I've done since the beginning till now. It's like, Emmy, you've met Sasquatches, you've met auditors, you have been on live streams that have turned just epically hilarious. Like, oh my goodness. The clips that all of us have made and come up with,
hey, Bill.
Whenever I'm sad, I'll find one of those and I'll just laugh and put that shit on loop.
I've actually got Carrie's over here actually putting in work on my channel. Look at him sharing links and stuff. My man acting all tech savvy over here. He good. He good stuff. He good people.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I love people like that. All my moderators are like that too. I don't even know if they were. I have to check the chats. I don't know if I wonder what mine are doing right now, or any of my people.
I only let my husband be moderator on my channel.
My daughter actually has admin stuff over my whole channel.
There you go.
See, I'm watching from Sasquatch, so no wonder I can't tell what the hell's going on over at mine, anyways. But there was 4 people watching there. I'm not sure. let's see. I don't even know. I just kind of don't nothing make me happier when people like to hate on the way I look. I'm like, you must be so insecure with yourself.
So I got a question.
What do they hate about you? How you look? You pretty.
Oh, I must not be aging well. I'm like, I've had 4 kids and I got 2 grandkids. Why don't you just try sucking my balls? Because I'm not like other chicks and I'm not buying into you throwing money in my face like I'm going to get an OnlyFans just to shake my non-tittied ass at you. I don't think so. For what? For chump change? No, I ain't taking my socks off for shit. Plus, I got more respect for myself than that. One day, my grandkids could come across that. You think I want them to see my saggy grandkids?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show. I appreciate everybody swinging through. I'm going to drop everybody. Play this madness. This is Mad World from Sasquatch Shills. I'll be right back with you, ladies, in just a minute. Let's let this thing actually do its little.
Sorry. Good news, though. We're going to have to move the party somewhere a little bit more private, but you're all invited. Lorenzo will give you the details. Yeah!
Hey, she was a cutie in a sundress. I told her I just had to confess. I got a crush on you.